Well, hello, welcome to Terratuti. This is your first time, welcome. Glad you found the channel. If you're returning, welcome back. So I'm starting on these September 2022 readings, and we're going to do the sign of Gemini today. And if you're wondering, if you have returned before and you're wondering why I sound a little hoarse, I have been at home dealing with COVID, believe it or not. Not a too severe case, thank God, but just enough to put me down for a few days. And I have a pretty physical job, so I'm not able to go back to work and perform that. If I was sitting behind a desk, maybe, but nah, it's too much. So I thought I'd start knocking out these September readings. So what can you tell us about Gemini's situation for September 2022? How about a few cards just to tell us or give us a message, the information Gemini needs to know? Okay, it's a good start, pretty strong. Two cards on the first. Okay. That was pretty much a pay attention. If this card is not going back in the deck, it's the one you want. Okay, I'm going with it. Okay, and that one just kind of flew. Alright, cards of advice, please. And then we'll get started. Okay, like it. We're not messing around. Not messing around with Gemini's reading. We're going to get right down to it. My last reading, I have been taking these slow, but my last reading kind of went on and on, so you might have a nice extended reading here, a little bit longer than usual, Gemini. Because I'm not trying to go too fast and do a lot in one day. Conserve my energy, whatnot. So let's get started. Ace of Hearts, 4 diamonds. So you are embarking on something brand new. Could be a relationship. We need to pull up some more cards here to see. But with the 4 diamonds, you're looking at some kind of financial boost, some kind of, honestly, like a windfall. There is a warning around the 4 diamonds. I always have to say this about overspending. So it's probably substantial, whatever's going on. And with the Ace of Hearts, you're looking at something probably resulting from this financial gain here. You know what I mean? Like you get to start a new adventure in some form with these new finances that are going to fulfill some kind of emotional need or wish fulfillment. 4 of Spades. This is centering around a lot about your home security, stability, that kind of thing, because the 4 diamonds, I forgot to mention, also talks about security around home, and financially you're doing very well. This 4 of Spades here is an indication that you're very content, and you also recently experienced some kind of stress relief. So maybe you were working a lot, and it's starting to pay off with the payoff here, the financial gain. And as a result, you are receiving and experiencing some kind of relief in that sense. 7 of diamonds, very interesting. The 7 talks about kind of your inner experience and what's going on inside. But normally, we would touch on something more inner. But what I was going to say, and I kind of misspoke, this card is also going to give you a warning about spending and your finances and not taking unnecessary risks, gambles that are outside the norm, that are extravagant, over the top. Very interesting. Perhaps you're feeling so secure with your money that there is a propensity to overspend, and that's why we're having all those messages come out. Look at here, we have the black and white Joker. And the black and white Joker does talk about, actually, yeah, it's a black and white Joker. I almost thought it was colored. This talks about things kind of not being settled and kind of shifting around. That's to me, that's kind of the Joker energy, right? Things are being juggled. So that would definitely fit in with new gained prosperity, abundance that you're looking at, and a newfound stress relief around the home and the stability, right? This also is the Fool card. It's like this is like some kind of experience you're having. Well, you don't have any preconceptions about how it's going to go. You're kind of the student, and the Fool card to me is kind of the student, the one who's open to the knowledge that they don't have. They have no knowledge to pull upon, right? So they have to be the fool. That's kind of one way of looking at it. But it's also a hint of being naive and lacking some kind of wisdom or experience that you need. So let's pull some more cards before I jump to conclusions, Gemini. Because I kind of have an idea of maybe where this is headed, but I want to get some more information. Eight of Hearts, very nice. So this is about moving ahead, probably in the realm of relationships, being social, hanging out with family. It's basically the social butterfly card. And if you haven't already met a significant person, there's a very high potential that that's about to happen, or it is happening as we speak. This is the card of potentially a very new, significant relationship coming in your life and moving forward, which is very nice because you're feeling very stable at home, your finances are looking fantastic, and now here comes the new relationship. What else could you ask for, right? But again, a bit of naivety here. So we got to see more about that. What's that about things not being settled? Well, everything is transitionary in life. Nothing's permanent. That goes without saying. Oh, wow. I got these two at once. So you just completed a cycle with the Ten of Hearts. Probably some kind of wish fulfillment. I would suspect it has to do with the financial gain. Maybe you wrapped up some kind of career, some kind of business venture, or some kind of investment that finally paid off. Although it's not the Ten of Diamonds, so don't get too excited here, right? But it's some kind of wish fulfillment, like some kind of cycle has been completed in your life, and it's satisfying you on some deep emotional level. Now with the Jack of Clubs that also came out with that, again, this is kind of a young, inexperienced energy. Jacks can represent males or females, so it could represent a person. But it did come out with the 10. So to me, this is almost like it could be you and kind of how you're feeling at this moment, brand new, fresh, young, vibrant. Doesn't matter how old you are, you just kind of have this fresh outlook on life, especially with the Ace of Hearts and the new start. The Jack of Clubs is also about generosity and being supportive. Perhaps you're feeling very generous right now with all these finances that have come into your life. Maybe that's part of the message here. Maybe that was where the warning was, just to watch, I don't know. Is there such thing as being overgenerous? I think so. Because we can certainly stretch ourselves beyond our means and regret it later, but being generous in itself is not a bad energy at all, and don't ever regret being generous. You know, if anything, I think the world needs more generosity. Anything else you can tell us? Of course. Six of Hearts. Yes, you are embarking on a new path. Perhaps you have come upon new opportunities, new doors that probably weren't there before. This is speaking a lot about the emotional realm, though, because we're looking at hearts. It also says whatever relationship comes along or whatever you're perhaps involved with at the moment that's brand new. Remember the Eight of Hearts. The way is open for new relationships on a new level. like a whole new experience, especially since we had this Ten of Hearts. That tells me that something wrapped up in that arena. Maybe you ended a long-term relationship and like that part of your life is over and you're starting a new chapter. I'm kind of seeing that for a lot of Geminis. You know, I think the garbage is gone from that, like the emotional baggage. Let's look at your cards of advice. Jack of Spades. Ooh. We'll talk about that in a second. Look at this. Ace of Spades. Six of Diamonds. Nice. Still, you're on a very nice financial track. We will address these other two cards, though. Give me a second. Seven of Hearts. So somebody potentially could let you down here. That's what the Seven of Hearts is. It's kind of my broken heart card, but it's not necessarily romantic. Somebody could just be letting you down. Like, things seem too good to be true in the beginning, and then they drop the ball. Could be also your fear with this Jack of Spades. This could represent a person with another agenda. They are very friendly and kind and alluring on the outside. On the inside, they have another agenda. I also see this as the card of you being suspicious, of you feeling that you could be taken advantage of or screwed over in some manner. That could be where the Seven of Hearts is. There's a little bit of, you know, I'm not going to say residual pain because that popped into my head. I don't think you're carrying any residual pain from a past relationship, but I do think you're very cautious. And perhaps that's what happened before. Severe letdown. This is interesting. This Ace of Spades is the Tower card. And if you know anything about Tower moments in traditional tarot, it's about things being torn down and rebuilt on a foundation that still exists, but the main structure is gone. I think you are rebuilding from something. I want to say relationship. I'm not seeing like career or some kind of business crumbling here, especially because we had this. I think you're rebuilding from a relationship, and all of this has kind of affected your life and the way you have been navigating life for the past several months. And you're rising from the ashes with this Tower moment. Because again, with the Six of Diamonds, you're looking at very nice financial security here. This is about you being able to take a lot of financial responsibility if you got into debt or needed to put money, large sums of money towards like a purchase of a home, upgrading a car, you know, you name it. This is about the ability to do that and having new opportunities that arise in those areas. And also as a result of taking responsibility, you have new opportunities coming your way. So I think you've put yourself on a very, this is just on the get-go here, this is my interpretation so far. I am going to ask for some more cards, but I think you put yourself on a very solid financial foundation. I think some kind of work or investment was involved with that. There's not much detail on that. That's okay, though. But I still think you're rebuilding from a place, and I think it's emotional, because I think this is why we have the Seven of Hearts. I think that's more of a fear, and that's what you're guarding against, like being let down, disappointed. This is about people being unreliable in some manner. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like the love of your life. It could be anybody letting you down. It could be family. It could be a friend, group of friends, you know, that sort of thing. And you have I think you're having a hard time trusting, or you have. But in the line of advice, if you look at this, it's asking you to restart with this Ace of Spades. Just build it up from the foundation. You know? Take what you have, discard what's gone and what doesn't serve you anymore. Ten of Clubs. Yes, you have definitely wrapped up a cycle that involves probably some kind of travel. Now, the travel doesn't have to be physical. Doesn't mean You're moving across town possibly, or it can mean relocating for a job. It could mean that you're traveling for pleasure, because this is usually around good travel, traveling for good reasons. It could also be unexpected, like all of a sudden you get to go on a trip, or you get to travel with somebody because you got invited, right? It could also mean emotional traveling, moving from one headspace to another. Dare I say, a darker headspace to a more positive headspace. But you've wrapped up something, and it's good news. That's what the Ten of Clubs is. It's good news. It's over, and it's all good. Anything else we can give to Gemini in this reading? Maybe around the new relationship. The Three of Diamonds. Well, this is a little back on the financial abundance track. Probably a little bit. So back here, just to backtrack, with our 4 diamonds and our 7 of diamonds, it was asking you to watch the spending. This does indicate a little bit of third-party energy or third element energy. I don't always see this as a person, but like some kind of factor. Let's say it's a third factor that's influencing you, right? It's indicating that you have a little confusion around money, and that you need to get clear maybe with how you want to use it, because I am seeing a little bit of a windfall mentioned earlier, and maybe you're just a little bit unclear, a little bit fuzzy about how you want to go forward. But you do have the card of taking of financial responsibility as well. I would say perhaps that is what it's pointing to. If you are fuzzy in how to use these funds, take the financial responsibility. Take care of what needs to be taken care of. I think we all have our list of things that we know. Like, if I had this money tomorrow, this is exactly what I would do with it. You know what I mean? It's the list you make. Yeah, when I have the money, I'm going to take care of that. When I have the money, I'm going to take care of that. It's that kind of thing. So it's. I think you did get a clear message about that if you had, if that is your situation and you're feeling a little bit, unsure how to go ahead with that. Any more advice before we close it out here for Gemini for September? Queen of Hearts. To me, this is possibly a motherly. When I say motherly, it sounds so old and, not that kind of motherly. Like nurturing. This is a nurturing energy. Could be a person. Could be a water sign. Honestly. Give me a second here. I'm just trying to feel if I can pick up how this relates to this completion. I don't know. I'm kind of getting the sense that it's talking about nurturing yourself, taking care of the self. Like, I don't think this is a person that's going to come from the outside. Now, if you've met somebody significant, it's possible, but it kind of jumped into that suddenly. So my intuition is saying this is the energy that you would benefit from embodying towards yourself, if that makes sense. Being kinder to yourself. She's also very wise, and she has a lot of experience. So it's almost like drawing on your maturity and the experience you do have, because we all have elements of really knowing something because we learned lessons throughout our lives. So we all have a level of wisdom. Whether we recognize it in ourselves, it's there. We always have a nugget of wisdom somewhere, and maybe you downplay that. Maybe you don't celebrate that within yourself. I know that sounds kind of corny, but but not celebrate, but like you don't emphasize that. You don't feel like you're a wise person, but you are. And there's a lot of self-nurturing and self-care that you could be giving yourself right now. I think that would benefit, probably heal you from this fear of having people let you down. Remember with the Jack of Spades being a little bit cautious, this would probably help soften that. If you have water in your chart, this could also represent that. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but most people know what water signs are. I think I'm going to wrap it up there, but just to re-encapsulate what I said here, you're on this you're being advised to basically build up from where whatever ended back here with the Ten of Hearts. I think it was an emotional relief, but also an emotional event that happened. I think it does have to do with relationships, but you have very good indications that the road towards a new relationship or meeting somebody special at least is there. The Six of Hearts and the Eight of Hearts, I'm not going to dig it out, but it's down there about meeting potentially a new person because you're going out and socializing, which is very good. The confusion around money, I kind of addressed that. I think your best bet, if you had a little bit of sitting on the fence trying to decide what to do, it's saying be practical with those funds. Start taking solid financial responsibility, whether that means paying off debt, putting it towards a home purchase, performing some kind of major repair that's overdue, or some kind of, even a health issue, maybe even putting something off, That certainly falls in the realm of self-nurturing and self-care. But I think you're on the road and on the path to a new emotional relationship experience. I think, like I said, if it hasn't started yet, it is about to start. Or maybe you've just met somebody in the last couple of weeks, and now that you've seen this reading, maybe you're like, aha, I had an inkling about them. Now I know that it's very possible that person could be the person. Don't rush anything. Don't force it. Don't try to force this to fit a situation. I'm not saying to do that, but very good indications that you're on a positive path, though, towards this fulfilling relationship. Whatever you're desiring, whatever form that takes, right? Okay, Gemini, nice reading. Thank you for joining me. I hope this helped. Please give me a big thumbs up if you don't mind, and go ahead and hit subscribe and notifications if you'd like to see when the mid-September reading comes out. Thank you for joining me again, and take care until I see you again.